After so much cases that I reviewed from ANTEC, it's time to change it up a bit and check out their completely new all-in-one liquid system. This is ANTEC Symphony 360 and it has some quite interesting things right out of the box. I love it, you will definitely love it, so let's check it out. First things first, 360 AIO with an addressable RGB fans and a quite nice water block on the CPU that you place it on. It really is something different when we're talking about, well, at least the design, if nothing else, the design for starters. Now, when you take out the Symphony 360 out of the box and check out the box content, this is what you get. The three fans, which are 120 millimeters, are already pre-attached to the radiator, and the only other manufacturer that did this was ARGB. So this is a big thumbs up in my books, at least, so you don't have to fiddle with the fans when you're placing them inside the case. Of course, this position and basically pre-installed fans gives you only one position when we're talking about mounting it inside the case. So with the fans on top of the radiator, you can place it on top of the chassis, and if you decide to place the radiator on front, you do need to remove the fans and reorganize everything. The cool thing about the fans is that you can daisy chain your addressable RGB and you can daisy chain your PWM connection, so you don't have to worry about not having enough RGB or PWM connections on your motherboard. This way they saved you a lot of trouble. The cool thing is also that you can connect the pump directly to the addressable RGB header that is left from the fans just hanging at the back. The pump needs 3-pin DC connection to your standard fan socket, fan header on your motherboard, and you do need to connect your SATA power to the pump and to your power supply so it can get enough power for everything. Now, with some specifications, we have the addressable RGB lighting PWM fans, we have EPDM plus IIP high density tubing, chromatic addressable RGB lightning pump head, which looks outstanding, and I really love the design. It's really nice, no doubt. The cool thing about it, the pipes are on the right side and they don't interfere with your RAM clearance, so you don't have to worry about tubes pushing the RAMs, or you can only use, I don't know, 16 gigs in dual channel and the other 16 if you're going with 32 or anything similar to that. You can place all 4 sticks. With the Symphony 360 you can, and there won't be any issues. And finally, when we connect everything to the motherboard, everything syncs up with the motherboard software. Well, basically you can control the addressable RGB through Asus Aura Sync, MSI Mystic Lights, Gigabyte RGB Fusion, ASRock Polychron Sync, and all the others. Some technical specifications: we have the dimensions of the fans 120, 120, 25, and the radiator is 27, so this is up to 5.2 centimeters of thickness with radiator and the fans, so you know approximately how much space you can acquire if you're having it on top, or if you're having it on front, how much space for your graphic card. The RPMs of the fans are 800 to 1600 RPMs, CFM is 72, decibel range is from 20 to 35, the lifespan is 40,000 hours at 25 Celsius degrees room ambient temperature. Now, the radiator is aluminum polycarbonate and dimensions are 397, 120, 27. Lifespan of the pump is 70,000 hours at ambient temperature of 25 Celsius degrees, and the noise is less than 30 decibels depending on the speed of it. It supports all sockets, so you don't have to worry about any, because it covers basically all Intel and all AMD sockets, except for Threadripper, because the cold plate is just too small for the Threadripper IHS. Okay, but that's for the technical specifications. Of course, we're going to place it inside the case, we're going to test it out and everything like that. But I also want to mention that the fans on each corner where you tie them up with screws on the radiator have dampening rubber pads which protect from extra vibration when the fans are spinning. The design is just perfect. Well, it's something different, and it wouldn't make any sense if it was the same as anyone else. So we have some varieties when we're talking about the design. Now let's check out the thermals when we're talking about casual build with some AMD Ryzen 5 5600G. While placing the AIO inside this case, this is the ANTEC DF800, you have to take two things into consideration. The radiator is occupying the full top panel, so from here from the back side to the front side, and the back fan needs to be pushed a bit down so the radiator can fit at the top. After you place the radiator and everything, you can place the fan right back. As you can see, I left it still hanging on the threads, but you can still see that it has enough space when you push the back rear fan at the top, and it almost goes at the top side of the back screw threads for the fan. Now you can see it really does look outstanding inside the DF800, and going with certain color scheme that you decide for your setup, it's always nice to have. But building placing the AIO inside this case, I did encounter something quite interesting and quite nice to have when you're building an AIO or in any different system. So for instance, you have backplate from AMD. This way you don't have to use it. You don't have actually a backplate for your Intel sockets, so they acquire a backplate which is let's say universal, but it has different holes for the all AMD sockets and for all Intel sockets except 2011 and 2066. All you need to do is use the backplate, place standoff screw, after that you place some standoffs, place it at the back of the motherboard. Additional standoffs, which are quite longer, need to go on the motherboard, basically locking the backplate at the back, and then thermal paste, placing the pump top CPU block on the processor and tying it up with locking nuts. That's it. That's everything you need to do. Of course, let's not forget 12 screws on the top to mount the radiator, but that's basically it. Cable rerouting, connections, it's quite easy, you don't have to worry about that. Now for the temperatures. The Symphony 360 actually does perform quite nicely. So with the AMD Ryzen 5 5600G in full load, of course I the 64 Extreme Edition, it went up to 57 Celsius degrees, and that is quite alright, and I have no complaints about that. Some 280 radiators can perform similar to this one, but I would say this is also quite outstanding. The 280 radiators that I tested, I think it went to 58, 59, so 360 did 50, it depends, 56, 57. But this is in full stress, and if you're gaming, processor almost never goes up to 100% if you're pairing it up nicely with your graphic card. So in game the temperatures would be around 50 to 55 depending on the position that you're inside the game, depending on the game of course, and CPU load definitely. I would say quite nice product, first of all because it's quite easy to mount, just because you have already pre-installed fans on your radiator. Gives you quite a quick installation, I would say. There's no fuss of placing 12 additional screws on the radiator, except if you're deciding to place it on front, just because the top part of the case doesn't support a 360 radiator. That's the only thing that you need to worry about. Measurements, compatibility, and everything else is just straightforward plug and play. So guys, this was quite a positive and very impressive thing that I checked out. It's not top of the line AIO where it could compete with I don't know, Arctic 360 liquid freezer or anything like that, but with the price range and how it performs, it's quite a nice product, AIO, and definitely does look appealing, especially if you combine it with some nice chassis. So guys, I'm placing the links below in the description for the ANTEC Symphony 360 all-in-one liquid system, so you can check out the prices and availability, of course. And to help the channel grow, guys, don't forget to subscribe, click the thumbs up button, click the notification bell so you won't miss any future content, and that's it. Thank you for watching today's video. Don't forget to check out other videos as well that are suggested. So we have the DF800 and the NX420. It might really interest you, so check it out. Thanks for watching again. Bye bye.